The tropical rainforests are one of the only significant regions of nature that humans have not touched to this day. These forests have an unbelievably complex ecosystem and are largely unexplored. In this video, I will tell you most things you need to know about the tropical rainforests. To understand tropical rainforests, you first need to understand the environmental traits of the region. Let's look at the Earth. As you probably know, the tropical rainforests are located near the equator, or as their name suggests, in the tropics. Because the equator gets more sunlight than regions to the north or the south, significant amounts of water are evaporated, creating a wet airflow. This water condenses into the clouds until they become too heavy and the water rains back down again. Meanwhile, dry air goes to the north and south, where deserts are formed. The process of rotating moisture is called a cell. Cells are located not only on the equator, but also to the north and south. There are three types of cells: the Halley cells, in which the tropical rainforests are located, the polar cells, and the feral cells. These cells are responsible for weather patterns that cause deserts and forests to form. So how are tropical rainforests different from other biomes? And how does this affect the region's nature? Firstly, tropical rainforests receive more rainfall than any other region on Earth, from 200 to 450 centimeters per year. This, along with the warm, stable yearly temperatures, creates a perfect environment for vegetation. The environment of the rainforests significantly affects the vegetation in them. In such forests, nearly all plants have a pointy extension on their leaves, called a drip tip. The drip tip is responsible for their effectiveness. This is how they work. When it rains, water runs down the leaves, instead of forcing the plant to support its weight. The branches' elasticity also amplifies this effect, as they bend down, removing the water. Another difference between rainforest and non-rainforest plants can be seen if you look underground. The trees in regular forests have roots going down into the ground. This is useful as there is usually much competition between plants near the surface for water and nutrients. Hence, most roots go down as deep as possible. But in the rainforests, it's an entirely different story. There is no competition for such things, but there is an altogether different problem. Since the trees in the rainforest are so tall, the effort needed to knock them down is much smaller than one needed to knock down a non-rainforest tree. This is why the tree roots in rainforests go sideways instead of down. This creates a complex system of roots going down for only several meters. But plants aren't the only inhabitants of the rainforests. One of the more noticeable characteristics of these forests is the immense biodiversity in them. Scientists have predicted that in the Amazon rainforest alone, there are about 427 mammal species, 1,300 bird species, 378 species of reptiles, and more than 400 species of amphibians. Some of the animals that live in the Amazon rainforest include jaguars, sloths, river dolphins, macaws, anacondas, and poison dart frogs. Now here's a figure that is even more amazing. The rainforests cover only about 8% of Earth's land area. Over 50% of the world's plants and animals are located there. Can you believe that? Many animals themselves also have unique characteristics. For example, did you know that most rainforest animals live in the canopy, in the tree branches, instead of the ground? Some animals also adapted to warn their predators of poison or to fool them into thinking so. Since the hunters have no way they could tell them apart, this method is often used to trick them, making them believe that the falsely colored animals are dangerous. Another way sometimes butterflies protect themselves is by pretending to be large predators like owls or tigers. But despite all the rainforest's beauty, they are currently in critical danger, especially those in the tropics. Over the past couple of decades, more than 20% of the Amazon rainforest, the biggest rainforest in the world, was deforested. And the trees aren't just being chopped down. Sometimes the forest is set on fire on purpose to make the ground even better for the crops that will be planted in its place. Scientists have estimated that with the current deforestation rate, the world's rainforests will be gone by 2100. Since rainforests produce about 20% of the world's oxygen, their lack significantly contributes to climate change. But the new ratio of gases in the atmosphere isn't the only problem. There are even more severe circumstances where the forests once were. Remember when I told you about the complex ecosystem of the rainforest? Well, it is based around only one thing: trees. When they are chopped down, all animals and most plants in the region will die. But this isn't only a moral problem. Scientists estimated that there are at least 30,000 undiscovered plant species worldwide, and almost all of them are from the rainforest. This means that we could be missing out on so many things: cures for diseases, super materials, efficient eco-friendly fuels, and many more. So how can you help? Well, firstly and most simply, use less paper. Try making a paper-only bin, and you will be amazed at how much of it you waste every day. Also, recycle it. Today, nearly all neighborhoods have a recycling bin of some sort. If you need paper products, try to buy products made from recycled paper. Another different way would be by searching for products that contain trustworthy ecological signs. The two main signs are the FSC and the Green Frog certificates, both meaning that the product was produced without harming the environment. The final and most effective way of helping the rainforests is by supporting ecological non-profit organizations such as Greenpeace, WWF, and Rainforest Alliance, as well as politicians who are eager to support the cause. If everyone follows these tips, then hopefully one day deforestation will stop and the rainforests will prosper once again.